What we are going to learn today is to use Gemini to analyze videos inside BigQuery. I'm Martin. Welcome to the channel, and let's go. Let me show you what we are going to build. So first of all, we will create a connection. We will create a connection to Google Cloud Storage bucket where an MP4 is of one of my videos. Then we create basically a machine learning model so that we can just run a BigQuery query on the bucket itself, and it will analyze the MP4, and the MP4 will then tell us, in this case our prompt is analyze the video and tell me what this is about, and it will analyze it and return a nice summary of this. That's super amazing and super easy to do. And once you have this, you can do this for everything in your Google Cloud Storage. So meaning that it's not only one video that you can analyze, and the prompt you can basically analyze your whole set of videos, which is quite nice. Just to give you some more examples of what this can do. So for example, you can just download your Facebook ads videos and then analyze them and come up with hooks. So for example, you would say what kind of category this is, and then you give them a couple of categories, and Google would analyze this video and give you a category. That's like super amazing if you are into marketing analytics, because that is something that you can do within your company to kind of give additional data that would otherwise not be possible, right? So even if you think about, like, normally a marketeer would have to look at this and say, this is the hook, this is the classification of what the video is about, this is UGC, and so on and so on. And with this, you would be able to basically do this with a large language model, which is quite amazing if you think about the context that you have then. So the very first thing that we need to do is to create a connection to a Vertex AI remote model. This basically means every kind of LLM that Google has available for BigQuery, we would basically create a Vertex AI remote connection. We give it a name, and once we connect, you see already the first error. The first error is that we don't have the API enabled. Most of the time, Google will give you already a link, which we then follow to just enable the API. And once that's done, we can set up the connection normally. That's the basic connection so that we can use a large language model in the data or in our BigQuery. As you can see now, we can create a connection, and the connection carries a service account, which we can then use to give permissions, because we need to give the service account permissions to access our data, but also to access large language models. Then we do the permissions part, which is to add the service account to the IAMs and give them the agent platform user and the BigQuery storage user permissions. So now we come to the fun part. So first we create an external table that's pointing to our Google Cloud Storage bucket. The Cloud Storage bucket has to have the connection to our agent model, which we take from our connection that we just have created. So you see that I'm going to add my project number, then EU, because I've set this up in the EU, and then I take the Gemini video connection ID name from the model, and basically say object metadata equals simple, because that's the only thing that's supported. It basically defines how the metadata looks like. In this case, the table will have basically simple metadata. Then I go to the storage bucket and I look at my video, and I take the pointer to the storage bucket, and I would say star.mp4 file to have this on every mp4 file. Currently, of course, there's only one mp4 file inside. But nevertheless, we have now a link to the storage bucket with an external connection. Now, with a quick look at the table, you see that there's all metadata. So it's basically a pointer for Google to access the data in the Google Cloud Storage without ever having this in the table, right? So that's the important part. The next step that we are doing is we have to create a model based on the connection that we have created. So we have a connection for an AI model, and now we would say we would like to use a specific endpoint that we have to create with the connection. And once that's done, as you can see, there's an error because I haven't enabled the API. I skipped a step for you right now, but it's basically just going to the URL, enabling the API so that we can proceed. Once it's done, and we can proceed. Before we come to the final form, please, if you are interested in more data analytics and data engineering content, please give me a like and subscribe to the channel. Anyways, now we can use our model and the table, the external table that we have created, to inject the prompt to the video and then ask for, in this case, what the video is about. And you have a couple of things here. So first of all, we have to the function ml generate text, which we reference a table and our model, like first the model, then the table, as you can see, and then we give it some parameters. Now you see I have a couple of errors here because I'm not mentioning that the first part is the prompt, right? So that's important that you always say then as prompt or as temperature, as flattened JSON output. So as you can also see on the first execution, we had an error that kind of like resolved itself by executing it again. I had this a couple of times when setting up a model, and probably there's a bit of a delay before everything is created, but this doesn't keep us from executing. So we executed again and everything was working fine. And as you can see, Google analyzed my video and was saying this is a video about the replace function, which is correct, and also has the final sentence saying that it's a call to action to like and subscribe, which you can now do because we have successfully created a video analysis with an LLM through BigQuery, which is like amazing. Like this is super nice to have. Thank you very much and see you soon.